Today we created a quest largely inspired by an NPC that was suggested by chat, Little Red Robin Hood. This NPC was suggested when we were making a Thieves Guild quest, and as things often do, we'd follow the breadcrumbs and end up with something quite a bit different from what we had at the start. So let's roly-poly our way into this quest and see how this became a Little Red vs Werewolf Thieves Guild quest. First things first though, let's wind back to the start and see when we were first introduced to this character. A prominent member of the guild could be called Little Red Robin Hood. Oh, that's an excellent name. I fucking love that name. Yes. I think Little Red Robin Hood is an excellent name for the entry point. Like their first point of contact of like getting into the quest. The recruiter, probably a prominent member, but not the highest member, like the person that's sort of going about getting people in. But Little Red Robin Hood is 100% gonna be the name of our quest. We'll just put the NPCs down. Love that. Zippity zoppity zap, making progress. Little Red, as we would call them, would then become our Thieves Guild mentor for the party when they first join, giving them their first proper initiation quest after they pass an initial test. But we needed more than just the concept of them being a mentor. We needed an actual character. Let's take some inspiration from Little Red and Robin Hood. Like, let's combine those together. Maybe because it's like Robin Hood is a very flamboyant and performative figure, right? I think they can be performant. While thinking upon their character, chat would make a great suggestion for a related quest. What about hunting an estranged member of the Thieves Guild called the Big Bad Wolf, I assume? A shiftier ex-member of the guild. Ooh, I like that. Great, we have a stimulus of they need to like hunt someone down. But if they've been jaded, it's an ex-member, I think this is like a really good place to build a characterization of Little Red around that, right? So, and they could be the nemesis of Red Robin Hood. I think so. This would then be expanded upon to really become more of a Little Red versus Werewolf situation. Maybe they have murderous tendencies. Oh, yeah, I love that. Maybe they have murderous tendencies because they are a werewolf. And Red Robin Hood tries to help them with their curse, but the wolf succumbs to their curse. Robin Hood could have a scar as a result of a fight with the wolf. Oh shit, yes. This is the sort of stuff we do. I fucking love this. Subatomic coming in with some hottie bombati suggests. When it came to naming our werewolf foe, I figured we didn't have to be subtle. The allusion to classic characters was already in full swing, so why not dive into the pool of obviousness and be obvious with the naming of our werewolf? Obviously. But is there like a name that you could have, like that's introduces where? And it's like their name is like Where something Wolfenstein or something, and then their name is just basically like werewolf, like Weraldine Wolfenstein. That's what their name is gonna be. With some characterization down for both our NPCs, we would further the reason for the tension between the two. Weraldine Wolfenstein would be a loose unit who was known for being too damn rowdy, killing one too many innocents. One fateful day, Little Red said enough is enough, and they got into a huge fight, leaving Little Red with a scar and forcing Weraldine Wolfenstein to flee. While I like this, I wanted more connection and tension between the two, so I'd go to a well I never usually go. They were also boinking. I think that's important to add. Just in brackets, I think there can be some serious sexual tension here between these two characters. Maybe that's just me. And I don't usually like I don't really usually do too much with like romantic stuff or sex things in my campaigns. I'm usually pretty sex light. But I think in the context of like two NPCs, they had sexual tension and it really became like not a marital spat, but like that sort of level, I think could be fun as well. It was now time to flesh out Weraldine Wolfenstein's bad boy persona. I considered having them be more sympathetic, more apologetic for their murderousness, but I don't think that really fit old maid Weraldine Wolfenstein, so we just made them a full-throttle ne'er-do-well. I think we could talk about like maybe something that would be interesting is like at first, they turned into a wolf and they were like, oh my god, I want to kill a bunch of stuff. Maybe they had like tendencies or the feelings. And at first they were like, that's no good. But then they realized like, no, this is just stuff I wanted to do anyway. And now that I'm a wolf, it's being like amplified. And then they were like, fuck it. I'm just gonna be a werewolf. Like, people think I'm a naughty boy anyway because I'm a werewolf. Like, why not just lean in? If I got murderous tendencies within the old heart, why not just be a murderous werewolf? You know, breaking hearts, breaking heads. At this point, we had some cool NPCs, a nice relationship between the two, and a reason for the party to go kill this enemy. But we lacked an actual quest. I mean, yeah, we can keep this simple. We can basically just say, like, Little Red will come up to them and be like, hey, this is Werewolf. They suck. Can you go track them down? I know where they are. I'm not strong enough to kill them, but as a squad, you guys could probably absolutely boom them. So go fuck them up. I think that's just sort of, you know, then what we're going to do, we can sort of like make a little hut, a werewolf shack that they have, maybe their little cornucopia where they do their thing, and then the party go and they just go kill them. You know, we can keep it simple. A nice go kill this evil person quest. And then, as always, we can have Werewolf make a deal, right? We can have they can go talk to Werewolf, and Werewolf can be like, hey, what if you didn't kill me and I gave you money, or something like that? Something more interesting than money. But that's the energy we're going to go for. Once again, let's keep it simple. Let's write it out. Let's make the steps, and as we do that, we will think of better ideas. As we wrote this out, chat suggested that the party could be given some silver weapons, perhaps given to them by Little Red. Yeah, and maybe if the party can convince of Red Robin Hood of providing them with extra help, they'll give them some silver weapons. Oh shit. But it could even be given them to them outright from the beginning. Like they go, hey, kill them. If you're killing a werewolf, go do that. But I think the party need to work for it a little bit. Because the silver weapons could lead Werewolf to negotiate instead of going out fighting. Out of fear of the weapons, you know, yeah. Because I think if they have silver weapons, they're like, I'm probably gonna lose. So I think that puts them into more of a position of negotiation. They become more desperate, something like that. But I like that leveling of like not having a silver weapon in some scenarios. Maybe they have a silver weapon in some scenarios. However, I wanted it to be more than they are simply given a weapon. And this is when we'd bring back the fact that this quest is technically part of a Thieves Guild quest line. I mean, if it is a Thieves Guild quest, you know, maybe they go, I actually know where a silver weapon is. If you want to go out of your way to get it, it's in this person's house. You're just going to have to steal it. Go steal it. Like maybe that could be fun, because that's also one of the things where it's like, then the party can choose, do we want to go steal this thing and go out of our way to get it? If we do, they're going to be rewarded with like an easier fight or like better negotiation when they do approach Werewolf, but it is like they have chosen to do it. We create the situation where they can, we create the environment, but it's not necessarily given. I think that makes it a little bit more agency driven from the party, and a bit more like, a little bit more than just like, here's a thing. I would end up making a house where the party are able to sneak around it, looking through the various weapons, trying to identify which one is silver. As is standard practice though, that process gets its own video, which will be out next week. When creating quests, I like giving the party a possible extra step they can choose to do, which will make their main objective easier. In my experience, this usually makes the quest more rewarding if they do it or not. If they go out of their way to do it and then have the advantage, then it feels like their hard work and agency has led to their success. But if the party is aware of an easier way, then chooses to forgo it, opting for a harder route, then succeeding that way is so much more satisfying and exciting than if they thought it was the only possible way to succeed. So far, this is a simple quest, and it was time to make it a little spicier, giving the party some actual options. The basis for this idea is that Little Red asked the party to retrieve a necklace off Werewolf to prove they've died. Because I think if we have them bring back a specific quest, like a specific item, then in the negotiation, Werewolf can be like, you know, they can be like, they want to bring back the necklace. If you have the necklace, we'll do it. And this could be like the most precious thing to them, the thing they hold on to most. But Werewolf is like, look, I'll give you the necklace, they'll believe I'm dead, and I will like leave the house I'm currently living in and go do my own thing. And that's how they can do the negotiation of making the lie happen. Because I still think we want to have that idea of like, yeah, they're siding with Little Red, but they're actually siding with Werewolf. And then Werewolf can give them other stuff, like their own rewards. Maybe something that could be interesting as a quest reward for this is Werewolf can maybe offer to the party for one of them to become a werewolf. That could be interesting. Because it's like, yeah, I mean, maybe one of the party members really wants to become a werewolf, and that'll like change up the dynamic of who they are. As per chat's suggestion, we would land on the player being able to change their race to Shifter, which is a werewolf race, more or less. I love providing options like this to the party because while they aren't a standard quest reward, they do provide the party and a player specifically amazing roleplay opportunities. Sure, a nice magical item can be great to make you stronger, but changing your character in a fundamental way can lead to your character growing way more than you had in mind, and in my experience is usually super fun. With this on the books, we were making progress, but we needed a reason why Werewolf Wolfenstein really wouldn't want to give up the necklace and would fight over it to the death. So we made it a super soul necklace. I think the necklace needs to be like of really massive significant importance to them, but isn't like a quest reward. The necklace could be a gift from Red Robin Hood, like a promise ring. Oh. Yeah, I think that, I like that. Bonding their humanities together. I like that it's like an item where maybe they both have one and they had to like put their respective souls, like a part of their respective souls into the item. So like if they take the ring, they're like, oh, you're literally going to take a part of my soul forever, which I will never get back. And one of the reasons that Little Red is so keen to actually get the ring is because they're like, this guy has part of my soul. I want that part of my soul back. You know, even though I kind of like undo the bonding or whatever, if they're dead, that'll be released and that part of my soul has come back to me. And at the moment it's like owned and sort of, you know, sequestered by this sort of like villainous creature, which I no longer can stand. The wolf's last humanity is within the necklace. Yes. So if they take it out, the wolf succumbs to their beast. I'm a fan of this last concept because it means if the party spare Werewolf Wolfenstein, then they will actually go and do many more murders and commit more evil upon the world, and gives the possibility for Werewolf Wolfenstein to come back later in the campaign as a stronger, more deranged threat. The last major thing we'd do is create Werewolf's house, where the werewolf combat encounter would go down. This would also contain a collection of other choices and intrigue, including a prisoner, which the party can free, but this building gets its own video where I explain much of this stuff. This caps off the creation of this quest. I really like how a simple reference-based name for an NPC, a throwaway joke really, would become a quite detailed quest, which kept the same humorous tone, but also became much deeper and more detailed. And that's the video. If you are either Team Werewolf Wolfenstein or Team Little Red Robin Hood, then subscribe to the channel for more dichotomizing D&D resource creation. I also have a Patreon with a slew of quests and maps you can check out, including everything you've seen in this video, or you can go there just to support the channel, and thank you so much to everyone who already has. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye!